Hi everybody, it is great to be with you on this beautiful and hot afternoon. I hope that you are somewhere safe and comfortable and cool where you're able to be watching this with us tonight or whenever you happen to be watching this, whether 5 p.m. on Sunday evening or some other time. We're in the middle of a series we're calling Campfire Stories. We're re-examining a handful of Bible stories as if they are ones we tell our friends and family sitting around a campfire. We're not worrying ourselves with questions like, is this historically accurate? Or does that fit with what we know about science? Questions, that those who originally told and wrote these stories down had no interest in asking. Instead, we're asking why they were told in the first place. And what was the response that the tellers were hoping to get? So 2 weeks ago, we talked about Noah and the ark and the flood. Last week, we talked about Rahab and the spies. And today, we get to take up Jonah and the big fish. The story of Jonah is another one of those that even people with very little knowledge of the Bible are familiar with. But often, it's exactly because it's a story so well known that is so easily misunderstood. So, like previous weeks, I'm going to offer up my own paraphrase, which goes something like this. A long time ago, there was a prophet named Jonah. At that time, there were many people known as prophets, not those who predicted the future, but those who claimed to be speaking on behalf of God. Not all prophets were the same, however. There were a handful of prophets who were public truth tellers. Despite how difficult the news might be, they would say what needed to be said to get God's people back on track. But there were also a great many who thought they were among God's chosen people, and it was their responsibility to predict the defeat of their enemies. They were the good guys. Their enemies were the bad guys, and God was going to defeat those bad guys. After all, God was on their side. Now, our friend Jonah was in the latter group, which made it all the more awkward when God spoke to him and told him to go preach in Nineveh, the capital city of their arch enemy. Jonah had zero interest in doing this. So he hopped on the next boat out of town to run from God and the mission God had for him. After setting sail, however, a storm came on so quickly and so strongly that it threatened to capsize the boat. Suddenly, that guilt Jonah had felt like a rock in his stomach felt more like a boulder. Convinced that God was trying to punish him, Jonah insisted on being thrown overboard to save the boat and the rest of the crew. And no sooner did he hit the water than he was snatched up and swallowed by a gigantic fish. For 3 days, 3 nights, Jonah sat in that fish's stomach, which was just enough time to apologize for running away and to thank God for saving his life. And again, no sooner did he say amen than he was spat back onto dry land. Well, in case he thought he was now home free, God came back to Jonah and told him again to go to Nineveh. And this time, Jonah listened. He arrived in Nineveh and embraced the role of public truth teller. The city's going to be overthrown in 40 days unless you shape up. Much to Jonah's surprise, the people of Nineveh actually listened. They changed their ways and devoted themselves to God, and God responded with grace. Now, you might say that Jonah was pleasantly surprised by how the Ninevites responded, but you'd be wrong. He was surprised, but not pleasantly. He was mad. See, this is exactly what I was worried about, God, he said. You're too much of a softie. Being all gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in mercy, turning back from your threats. I was here with a bag of popcorn, but you robbed me of that. So you might as well just kill me instead. Are you kidding me? God responded. After all you've been through, over 120,000 people live there, as well as many animals, and you expect me to just kill them? The end. That's quite the ending to the story. If you've heard the story of Jonah before, did you hear this is the end of the story? Or did it just cut off after he seemingly shaped up and went to Nineveh? That's how it ended when I was told the story growing up. It's a lot less satisfying to hear about someone who is obstinate, someone who just can't get past the way they have always thought things were supposed to be. Someone who could use a bad experience to learn and grow. They instead dig their heels in. But maybe it's bothersome because it hits a little closer to home than a miraculous story of someone surviving being eaten by a giant fish. At the Grove, we say that one way we grow goodness is by deepening our curiosity and sense of awe. You see, the thing about learning and growing is that they are both continuous. They require us to continue to be open to new possibilities, new experiences, new ways of understanding things, and yes, to new ways of simply being wrong. What is one thing that you are holding so closely that is getting in the way of the life that God would have you living? Is it a belief? Is it a fear? Is it a prejudice? Is it a relationship? Is it a need to simply not be corrected? And what's one way you can grow or let go of that thing? The story of Jonah gives us no indication of whether he turned, if he learned his lesson the second time, or if he continued to refuse growth, head hung low and arms crossed. But our story is still being written. And ours is a God from whom grace abounds and for which transformation is both possible and expected.
May God bless us with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships, so that we may live from deep within our hearts. May God bless us with anger at injustice, oppression, and exploitation of God's creations, so that we may work for justice, freedom, and peace. May God bless us with tears to shed for those who suffer pain, rejection, hunger, and war, so that we may reach out our hands to comfort them and to turn their pain into joy. And may God bless us with just enough foolishness to believe that we can make a difference in the world, so that we can do what others claim cannot be done. To bring justice and kindness to all our children and all our neighbors who are poor. Amen.
could just stay. I could just stay right where I am and hope to feel something again. I could hold on to who I am and never let you change me from the inside. I could be safe, oh, I could be safer in your arms and never leave home, never let these walls down. But you have called me higher, you have called me deeper, and I'll go where you will lead me, Lord. You have called me higher, you have called me deeper, and I'll go where you will lead me, Lord, where you lead me. I could hold on to who I am and never let you change me from the inside. I could be safe, oh, I could be safe here in your arms and never leave home, never let these walls down. And you have called me higher, you have called me deeper, and I'll go where you will lead me, Lord. You have called me higher, you have called me deeper, and I'll go where you will lead me, Lord, where you lead me, where you lead me, Lord. And I will be yours, oh, I will be yours for all my life. I will be yours, oh, I will be yours for all my life. I will be yours, oh, I will be yours for all my life. So let your mercy, oh, I will be yours, oh, I will be yours for all my life. So let your mercy light the path before me. And you have called me higher, you have called me deeper, and I'll go where you will lead me, Lord. You have called me higher, you have called me deeper, and I'll go where you will lead me, Lord. You lead me, where you lead me, Lord, where you lead me, you lead me,
As always, it was so good to be with you. We're so happy that you joined us for worship, even in this online format. As a church, we seek to grow goodness, and so anytime you interact with the Grove, we hope that you are experiencing a deepening sense of awe and curiosity. Now, as we go today, I leave you with 3 things in 1 minute, the 3 most important things to know this week. Number 1, Friday story time. We have a new story time in the Grove. We just kicked it off this past Friday, and we're going to do it again this week. If you have kids and you are available on a Friday at 10 a.m., we would love to have you there. We've got stories, crafts, and we even have some awesome iced coffee for parents. You don't want to miss it. Number 2, concert. Hey, we have this duo known as My Anchor Holds. Maybe you're familiar with these people. We're having a concert at our next schoolie gathering on August 5th. We hope you join us for that. Again, Thursday, August 5th, 5 p.m. It's free. We're going to have free food there as well. We'd love for you to come, show up, wear your Grove shirts if you have Grove shirts too. And then number 3, giving. God has blessed us with so much, and giving is an opportunity to show our thankfulness for that which we have already received. There's several different ways to give. The easiest probably is to continue to go to our website, thegrovecg.church/give. You can also give on Venmo, and we're working on giving through Facebook as well. We'll give you more updates about that as we learn more. Now, as we go, may the God who's gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in mercy, continue to deepen your sense of curiosity and awe.